Alright, so today I just decided to test the RAW on the Sandisk 80MBs that I purchased the other day. There's some questions about whether it works with RAW or not, and I know previously before the firmware updates on the BMPC, a lot of cards didn't work, and it did surprise me that this one was able to shoot RAW, but you know, obviously I didn't test it in every frame rate in every situation. So today I just set it up. It's raining outside, so I'm just shooting a tablet right now, which hopefully brings in random colors and some movement, and you know, helps to increase the data rate. Obviously not a true to life test, but still 24p shooting RAW on this card. I'm nearing 5 minutes right now. No indication of drop frames whatsoever. Also shooting at ISO I think 800. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, I shot RAW and it's been working. I'll try 30p next. Maybe that will increase the data, and I don't know. But as far as shooting RAW 24p on this card, it's working. And I have the latest firmware update that just came out maybe a month ago. So I don't know if a lot of the comments were prior to those firmware updates, because that really made a huge difference with the types of cards you could use on the BMPCC. It's more compatible. So we'll see. I'm going to let this thing run as long as I can. It shows I have 9 minutes left on this card. It started out at 13 minutes. And this is a 64 gig card as well. So we'll see. We'll just let it run and see if there's any drop frame indications, and then we'll switch to 30p. Alright, here's an update. We are running pretty low on this card. You notice it says it's 3 minutes left here. Still recording RAW, and we are about, I think that says 16 minutes in. Yeah, so we got actually more than 13 minutes on this card. We may be able to get closer to 20, maybe 18 to 20 minutes. In any case, there you go. We have no exclamation marks on the software stating that there are drop frames. Oh, the movie, oh no, there you go. It's still rolling. So, you know, obviously the scenes are changing, the colors are there. There's some movement, but not enough here to drop frames 24p on this card. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and just show you guys the card. Let me see if I can get this card out of here. Let's pop this card out. It's a little tight in this cage. There you go. That is the card. So this one was able to shoot RAW with no drop frames according to the software. And as I reviewed the files last time, I did not see a single drop frame or any gaps in the file name. So that's it. That's there. What I'll do is I'll format it and I'll run it at 30p and see if there's any difference with that. But 24p RAW seems to work well here with the latest firmware updates. I'm not suggesting that this is the best card on the market, but this was a great deal at the time, which unfortunately you guys aren't going to get it anymore. But 39 bucks for this card was a great deal. And even if I'm not doing RAW, ProRes is like, this card is great for ProRes. Let me switch to 30p and do a little more testing. Alright, here we are, almost 5 minutes in RAW at 25p. I'm going to say this is going to be okay. We have no exclamation marks, no indicators of drop frames, so we're going to switch to a higher frame rate and test that out, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so there we are at 29.97, and not even 30 seconds in, we automatically get these, we get a drop frame indicator. See that right over here? So beyond 24 and 25p, this card is not fast enough, but at 24 and 25p, you can pretty much fill up the card with RAW. That's what I'm getting so far. Again, I'm not doing a real world test, but I am shooting something that has a lot of random colors, some movement, and you know, so on. So again, the card is going to be perfectly fine with all your ProRes settings, but if for RAW, it seems like 24 and 25p are okay, but you go up to 29.97, which is pretty much 30p, then it'll drop frames, or it'll detect drop frames immediately. So 24, 25p on this card seems to be okay, is what I'm getting. Alright, so those are some real basic tests. Is this card fast enough for RAW? It looks like it is at 24 and 25p, which on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, I only shoot 24. I'm in the US, so I don't use 25, and I just don't like the look of 30 on this camera. If I'm going to do 30, I'm going to do it on a different camera. So 24p is pretty much what I use on this Blackmagic, which is why when I said this card can shoot RAW, it can and it has, and I can fill up the entire card at 24p or even 25p. So this is the card. For ProRes, you'll have absolutely no problem. Fast, very fast. For RAW, 2425 has been working so far. I just got this card over the weekend, and yeah, that's it. So questions about this? Good enough for ProRes? Good enough for RAW? Yes and no. 24, 25, 30, definitely not. Hope that's helpful. Any questions? Hit up the blog, cheesycam.com.